313 years ago, the first emirate here in this part of the world, the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah, was established. Can you believe that? That was in the time of the Napoleonic Wars, the English Industrial Revolution, before the States of America were united. Can you imagine life 300 years ago? Can you imagine life here on Yas Island 20 years ago? You are looking at the most spectacular racetrack on planet Earth. This is Yas Marina Circuit, home of the Abu Dhabi Formula One Grand Prix, and the host venue for the second and third and fifth rounds of the Asian Formula 3 Championship. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the final of 6 races this weekend. Delighted to be joined once again by Aditya Patel. Aditya, this has been a fantastic week of racing at this incredible place. Chauvet leads the championship.
Chauvet leads, and he's won races in style. Chauvet won 4 races so far in the championship. Jehan's won 2, Zhou has won 2, and Chauvet has extended his lead to well over 20 points. I think it's about 22 points at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, or 21. So it's now down to Zhou and Jehan to try and catch Chauvet. It's going to be an exciting race. I'm looking forward to see what happens in the next few minutes.
Pierre-Louis Chauvet did win his 4th race of the championship earlier this morning. To find out how he did it, let's take a look at the highlights of race number 2 of the weekend a few moments ago. From the start, Chauvet has learnt to launch Dino from the 3rd row of the grid. Slotted into 3rd place. He was delighted with his start. Isaac Hadja went wheel to wheel, the former Formula 4 drivers. Up into 3rd place, it was a hectic race. Jehan Daruvala lost his lead in the championship. Did the Indian. He is now in 3rd place on 121 points. This incident brought out the safety car Matthias Luton and Alexandre Batignon, the Pinnacle Motorsport drivers, coming together. Their teammate pulled away at the restart. Zhou trying to attack Pierre-Louis Chauvet. Patrick Pasma from the back of the pack was carving his way through the field like a hot knife through butter. Until this. The Finn would ultimately retire. Quite a few retirements in race 2 of round 3 this morning. Going round in the Evans GP car, Nicola Martinangeli also having a moment with Roy Nissani. That brought out the 2nd safety car. Pierre-Louis Chauvet raced to the checkered flag to take his 4th victory in the series. So with that, Pierre-Louis Chauvet 144 points. Guan Yu Zhou 2nd in the series and 2nd in the race earlier this morning on 123. And Jehan, who was looking good at the start of the weekend, 3rd in the championship on 121 points. So the cars making their way around the corkscrew circuit, 4.7 kilometres, and that's the short circuit as they go by the marina here at Yas Island. I know we have speaking superlatives about this place, but it's almost too good to be true. Ferrari land in the background as we look at the 2nd Mumbai Falcons entry. This is Kushmani, a better run this morning. His teammate, Aditya Patel, will start on pole position. Not you, Aditya, but his teammate. I'm referring to our co-commentator.
Yeah, Jehan starting on pole once again. I thought you were talking about me there for a second.
Oh,
but
you wish,
right
you
here.
wish.
I do wish. It's been a while since I've been in a race car. I am itching to get back in one soon. But yes, Jehan on pole position, looking to take the win over here to close the gap to Pierre-Louis Chauvet. It's going to be an interesting race because once again, everybody will be on mixed tires from the top to the bottom of the field. We've got a bunch of drivers as well who have got grid penalties based on incidents from the first race. So that's going to shake things up as well and make it a little bit interesting. But the guys in front stay untouched. All of them do come and take their grid places as per qualifying.
This is Isaac Hadja in car 6 for Evans GP. Alexandre Batignon has got a grid penalty, as has Roman Stanek. We will go through the grid for you in its entirety in a few moments' time as the field set off on their formation lap. There is Patrick, I should say. And Ayumu Iwasa, he's been just brilliant. Ayumu actually is 7th in the series after, 8 races. This is race 9 of 15. Ayumu has really impressed. As you look at the pole sitter, we'll try and get a quick word with Jahan in just a moment. JD to start out of position 1 for the Mumbai Falcons. And once again, we do thank the Mumbai Falcons team for bringing you this live coverage of the first 3 rounds of the Formula 3 Championship of Asia, following in the tradition started by the Force India F1 team. The Mumbai Falcons, big plans for them in the future, and they're looking to take out the championship. Their boy starts on pole position, Jahan Daruvala, and I believe he's down on the grid with Jake.
Thank you very much, Ian. The third and final race of round 3 of the 2021 Asian F3 Championship about to get underway. And Mumbai Falcon fans, well, you're in for a treat. It's Jahan Daruvala on pole position once again. Let's get in there and have a word with the pole sitter. Jahan, great to see you on pole position once again. Race 3 should be a good one. What are things going to be like in terms of tyre strategy this time?
Yeah, so I've got my freshest set on now, but the goal is, like I said earlier, to have a good start and win the race.
It's been a difficult second race, but you made the most of the opportunity and bagged some points. Are we going to try and take back the lead of the championship this time?
I think my goal is to win the race, and the rest are out of my control, so I'll just focus on doing that.
Okay, good luck, and hopefully it's another strong race for you. Have a great race. So Jahan Daruvala getting himself ready for the action, and congratulations to him for getting another pole position. Obviously, we're going to see the regular contenders up towards the front. Guan Yu Zhou of China will be right there in second place, and Pierre-Louis Chauvet in third position. The 2 battlers in the top 2 positions. Just want to give a bit of a shout out to the Orange Army. They've been absolutely fantastic over the course of the weekend, and they have kept us safe and sound. Without them, of course, we can't go racing at all. So a massive shout out to the Orange Army Brigade. Right, 4th position on the starting grid, and it's set to be his last race in Asian Formula 3 for 2021. Isaac Hajar, he's had a frustrating couple of races across the beginning of round 3, so hopefully this time it's going to be a strong race for him. Isaac, 4th position on the grid, right back where you belong, and a great way to bow out. Hopefully this is going to be a race where you can go for victory. How likely do you think that is today?
I think it's achievable, but yeah, it's a long race, 30 minutes. The driver is in front are the fastest of the weekend, but I think the tires have been well managed, and I have the pace for sure to fight for a podium.
Well, thank you very much indeed for the entertainment. Good luck for one more time.
Thank you very much.
He's always been one of the star characters. Oh my goodness me, sorry, just nearly made a big trip fall there. Right, let's go and have a word with Dino for one last time as well. He is of course going to get out of this car, ready for next time, before he hands the car over to David Vidales. Dino, one final chance at a victory, and you've been very strong so far. What can we get out of this light cracker start of yours?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna do my best with fresher tires now, probably than the others, and yeah, we see what we can do. Probably I'll try to do something in the start as well, like last time, but yeah, we see. Just keep the head down, keep the head cool, and enjoy my last race here in F3 Asia.
The fans are with you one more time. Let's have a great race. Good luck.
Thank you.
Dynamite Dino preparing for the action one last time here in Asian Formula 3. Let's go and have a word with the Evans GP driver, Patrick Pasma. He's not had the greatest of luck either, but he gets the chance to start in a slightly different colour of Evans GP car after taking Casper Stevenson's machine. Patrick, good to see you up here on the 3rd row of the grid, and a great chance, if you get a lightning start, you can really make a push for a podium. How are the team looking for this one?
Yes, of course we try to do our best and hope we end up on the podium, and yeah, we see.
Now, the Evans GP crew tell me that you've got a message for someone quite special to the team back home.
Yes, I would like to wish all best to my mechanic sister Lana, and yeah, this one is for you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you.
There you go. It's a really family community we've got here in the Asian Formula 3 Championship, and it's really great to see. There are some interesting characters as well as they go through the field. We've got to keep an eye on this kid, Ayumi Iwasa, the Japanese star. He really has a good chance of getting himself firmly into that top 5 from this one on the 4th row. And of course, there's Chen Bolokbasi, who really has been lighting up the circuit so far in these 2 weekends of racing. And I have a feeling a podium might just be round the bend for him. Could be a fascinating 3rd and final race.
Yes, indeed, Jake. Chen Bolokbasi certainly a driver to look out for. He starts on the 4th row of the grid. If you are just joining us for the first time this weekend, Pierre-Louis Chauvet took his 4th victory of the series earlier this morning. He does have, well, a 21-point lead in the championship. We have to point out also, Chen Bolokbasi, yes, could surprise us here this afternoon. Big performance this morning from Lorenzo Flutzer. He finished 4th, just a place off the podium. He was disappointed with that, despite being happy with his own race in preparation for the 2021 Formula Regional Alpine Championship, where he'll line up on the grid with, I'm so sorry I can't tell you, but just look out for Formula Scout, F1 Feeder Series, F2 Addict, or Series Feeder Formula on Instagram. They'll let you know soon enough, I promise you. But Lorenzo will be there in the Alpine Series. Looking for a big performance from the Mallorcan, and Jahan Daruvala has to get his championship back on track here in a few moments' time. It's the final time we race here this weekend at what has been a fabulous week at Yas Marina.
Indeed, has been quite a week. It's been 4 days of flat out racing, and we're finally at the last race. We remember speaking about this before the first race. We said, wow, think about it. Over the next 4 days, we will be done with 6 more races, and here we are. It's the 6th race of the double header weekend, and then we head back to Dubai for the final 2 weekends of this championship, one in Dubai and then come back here, of course, to Abu Dhabi for the last weekend, where we will be racing on the actual Formula 1 Grand Prix circuit. So I'm looking forward to that one, because it opens up that back straight and probably will throw in a lot of overtaking.
Hopefully soon enough, we'll be back with spectators in the grandstands. Let's cross down to Jake in pit lane in just a moment. Still a few moments before the cars set off on their installation lap.
Yeah, we've got a slight issue down here in pit lane, Ian. Thanks for coming back to us. We've got an issue for the Motorscape car by Dragon Racing. Nicola Maranangeli, they've got a problem with the electrical sensor, which changes problems and a setting with gearbox selection. They had a problem trying to get him started, so now they've had to do a quick fix. But I've spoken to Sana Chanak and the crew, and it looks as though they should be able to get him out on circuit for a pit lane start. He's unfortunately missed the window to get on the grid. So Nicola Maranangeli, if he manages to get started, will have to start from pit lane.
Really bad luck for Nicola, who had a great run earlier this morning, finishing just outside the top 10. Team manager Sanad Chanak just in the background, frantically working on car 77 of the Italian. For the final time this weekend, the cars are about to set off on the formation lap. Yes, the grandstands are still empty. Incidentally, we had the UFC title fight just a few weeks ago at the Etihad Arena. Dustin Poirier defeating Conor McGregor in 2 rounds. The reason I mention that is because, yes, they did fight in front of fans. So let's hope the grandstands at the most amazing racetrack on the planet are full once again. Certainly by the time we race the Abu Dhabi Formula 1 Grand Prix circuit for 2021 with the last round of the F1 World Championship. The green flag, and we get ready to race for the final time this weekend. Jahan leads them around on the formation lap. We take a look at the grid. It's JD and GZ on the front row. Second row, it's Pierre-Louis Chauvet, who has taken 4 victories, alongside Isaac and all French, second row of the grid. For the final time this weekend, Dynamite Dino Beganovic alongside Patrick Pasma, looking to come back after a forgettable race this morning. Ayumu Iwasa, Chen Bolokbasi, can he surprise us? Later this afternoon, towards the end of 30 minutes, Roman Stanek, the Czech for Team High-Tech, and Kushmaini on the outside of row 5. Roberto Faria, the boy from Brazil, is alongside the Mallorcan Lorenzo Flutzer. The 7th row of the grid, it's the Japanese driver Risu Shijima for Team High-Tech and the Mexican Rafael Villagomez for Team Black Arts. Roy starts way back on the 8th row alongside Alexandre Bartignon, both drivers not finishing race 2 this morning. Nicola Marinangeli from pit lane, not row 9. All Italian, 9th row of the grid, well, half of it at least, alongside Alessio Deleda. Then we go to Amna Alcabasi and Matthias Luton, also DNFing this morning. Look for the German to have his best run of the weekend. Remember, his first professional car race just 18 months ago. Jahan on pole position. Can he get his championship back on track?
It's an important race for Jahan indeed, this one, but so is it for Zhu. Zhu has also fallen back a little bit. Pierre-Louis Chauvet has opened up a fairly sizable gap. So it's down to Jahan and Zhu to see if they can try and close that gap in this championship. But let's not forget Isaac Hadjar. He wants to win, and he wants to win this race. We did see him looking a little bit nervous on the grid, actually. The last few times we spoke to Isaac, he was full of beans. This time, he was fully focused on the race ahead of him, looking a little bit nervous. I do know that he wants to win a race, and he wants to win a race soon. So he's not going to make it easy for any of these guys in front of him.
Pierre-Louis Chauvet, the championship leader, looks to be the driver to beat, though. Being assisted, we should give credit to his engineer, Roman Goeskien, the Dams engineer from the Formula 2 team, who has just clicked with young Pierre-Louis as Nicola Marinangeli to the left of your screen makes his way to the end of pit lane. Look at Jahan already lining it up down into turn 1. Guan Yu on grid 2. Chauvet, car 3, position 3. And Dino, can he launch from the 3rd row exactly as he did this morning? It has been a fantastic week at one of the most amazing cities on earth. This incredible facility, host venue for the 2nd and 3rd rounds of the Formula 3 Championship of Asia. The green flag at the back of the grid for the final time this weekend. We race. And Jahan gets a fabulous start. Guan Yu goes with him. Chauvet is already back to 4th. The French drivers, they battle for position. Isaac goes down the inside. Patrick Pasma right there as well. So the championship leader, Chauvet, back to 4th place. Jahan Daruvala, yes, his championship is back on track because the Indian for the Mumbai Falcons goes position 1 off the start.
Looks like a fairly clean start again down the field. A few drivers seem to have made some places up. I did see Roy Nissani on the side of the track kicking up some dust early on, as we have Patrick Pasma trying to make a move there on Dino, and in the back Iwasa trying to make a move on Kushmaini. There's a lot going on here down the field.
Patrick makes the move, nicely done by the Finn. Just drives down the inside and goes position 5. The Evans GP team driver from Finland, aggressive here this afternoon. Just 2 steps away from the podium as Guan Yu attacks the outside of Jahan on the opening lap of the race, tries to stay with him, runs out of racetrack. Kush goes straight ahead around the bollard, and he's not the only one to do so. Jahan under immense pressure as Isaac runs off the circuit. Have we got a race this afternoon? Daruvala under pressure from Guan Yu Zhou. Isaac and the series leader, Pierre-Louis Chauvet, and Patrick has come to fight. Position 5 for the Finn for Evans GP, all over the back of the championship leader. What a start to race 3 here this afternoon. Jahan leads the way, but only just from the Alpine F1 test driver. This is a fabulous start as Roberto Faria in car 7 tries to catch up to the back of the pack. Jahan leads them across the line for the first time.
There was a lot going on going into turn 11. Zhu tried to pass Jahan on the outside, but Jahan just pushed him straight. It looks like everyone slowed down a little bit. The safety car is out. Yep, the safety car is out. We didn't catch a glimpse of any incident, but there we see, oh, it's Beganovic and Cem Bolugbasi. Ooh, I don't know where they've gone off, but...
Oh, Dino, what a disappointing end to his championship. And Cem, we were expecting so much from the young Turk. They've both come together. They're still in the car. The safety car about to come out onto the circuit. Breathing space for Jahan because he was being attacked by Guan Yu, Isaac, Pierre-Louis, and Patrick. A sigh of relief from Jahan. He's used to the pressure, as we've seen throughout the championship thus far. Now Dino steps out of car 16 as does Chem. No, Chem still in the car, still hopeful of getting back in the race.
Ooh, it does look like Dino is in some pain there. It looks like he's
that's
possibly
not
hurt his
good.
hand. That's not good. We saw yesterday that Irina as well had hurt herself in an incident.
She broke her hand. This does not look good for the Ferrari Academy junior driver. Concern as they watch on live from Maranello for their young Swedish star. Dino Beganovic in real pain. These cars, we know they're heavy. Chem comes to help him out. They've come together. We'll try and get a replay for you of what has taken out Bologbasi and Beganovic, two young stars of the Formula 3 Asian Championship. The safety car is out. Jahan has breathing space. We are concerned for Dino and his well-being, more so for the Formula Regional Alpine Championship, which starts at the moment at Spa on the last week of April. That's the reason why they've come out, or the safety car has come out.
They have found themselves parked in an interesting position there. Would be interesting to see if we can catch a glimpse of that incident. But there was a lot going on going into turn 11 and turn 12. We saw the leaders get really close. We saw cars behind get close. But Patrick Pasma, he's managed to hold on to his position. He is fifth at the moment. Dino and Chem, of course, starting 6th and 8th now. Not where they were. Obviously, they're now on their way back to the pit. But let's hope Dino's okay. He does look like he's in a little bit of pain. It looks like his right wrist. But I guess it's, you know, these cars, they have a very heavy steering wheel. And it is the moment the steering snaps in your hand, you could injure yourself. And as we watch the cars come by now, drivers trying to keep their tires warm. Patrick Pasma slowing down a little bit at the back there.
Irina Sidorkova, she broke her wrist a couple of days ago. That has eliminated her from the championship. We go back to the last round of the Formula Regional European Championship at Vallelunga in Rome, and it was the Roman Andrea Cola. He did the same. He smacked the wall in the rain in Wednesday practice, actually fractured his wrist as well. Let's hope Dino has not suffered the same injury. The Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, where he will be joined by Mercedes Junior Paul Aron and David Vidalis, who takes over the wheel of car 16 from next weekend at the Dubai Autodrome. Dino is actually okay. It's not he's not on his way to hospital for any life-threatening injury, but we're thinking more about the start of the European Championship.
Indeed, he is now in good hands. He will receive medical attention soon. Let's hope it's just a small sprain and not a big fracture for Dino's own good, because he is going to be back in the race car very, very soon. And the last thing he needs now is an injury that will have him a little delayed with his racing season going forward.
The WSK International Kart Racing Champion for the Ward Racing Team has just driven brilliantly throughout the Formula 3 Asian Championship up until this point. Really bad luck for Chem, the Doge-backed car 74. For Team Black Arts, the reigning champions, we were expecting a lot from him. The safety car is still out on the circuit. We'll take a moment to check the order with 23 minutes, 22 seconds left on the clock. It is Jahan from Guan Yu. Isaac's in P3, Pierre-Louis Chauvet in position 4. Patrick up to 5, so Josh Evans has got 2 of his cars inside the top 5. Roman Stanek, Ayumu Iwasa pushes into 8th. Lorenzo Flunza in the points again is the young Spaniard. Ahead of Reese, Roy, Alexandre Bardignon, Rafa Villagomez, Daledac, Alcobesi, Luton, Faria and Nicola Marinangeli. He has benefited because he did start from pit lane, but he has caught up the field, obviously. Still circulating, and we have lost Beganovic and Bologbasi.
Nicola Marinangeli is definitely going to try and make the best of the situation now. He does have Roberto Faria in front of him, who's not going to be easy to pass, but it's going to make it a lot more interesting for him now that the safety car is out. But as we said early on, for Jahan, it's not really ideal to have the safety car out. No leader wants the safety car out so soon in the race when they know they can pull a gap. But now only time will tell what he can do. For Zhu, on the other hand, this probably works in his favor because now Zhu can keep his tires cool and try and see what he can do during the restart. Chauvet, he doesn't want these guys to get away, and he's got Isaac between himself and Zhu. It's going to be interesting to see if Chauvet can make a quick move on Isaac, but Isaac, the feisty little kid that he is, will never make it easy for anybody to go by.
The safety car will pull in this lap. Aditya, there is a sense of, well, play all your cards now. This is the 6th race, the final set of tyres, nothing to lose. We've already clicked over 1/3 race distance, mainly behind the safety car. So these drivers, they don't want to throw it in the wall, but if there's half an opportunity, we can expect action in the remaining, 21 minutes, 22 seconds.
Indeed, the drivers also do want to go away from this round with as much of an advantage as they can get. So at the end of the day, you want to finish races, but you also want to beat your opponents. And Jehan Daruvala, the situation that he is in, he found himself leading the championship after the last round. Now he finds himself in 3rd behind Zhu. He wants to get the most out of this. So does Zhu. So does Chauvet. So there's a lot to play for, and so do a lot of drivers up and down the field. Let's not forget Ayumu Iwasa. You said he was 7th in the championship, and there we see him currently running 7th in this race, closely followed by Kushmaini. So these two are going to fight it out. Kush wants to get more points in the bag, as we see Jehan slowing the field down. Let's see if he can get himself a proper restart and pull away from Zhu. But Zhu, like we saw last time, he doesn't fall for restart tactics. He's stuck to the back of Chauvet. It looks like Jehan has put his foot on the gas. It seems to me that could be an early call from him. Let's see how that works out.
The Camaro's super safety car pulls into pit lane. And Jehan gets on the gas here at Yas. The Indian will lead across the line. And once again, we race. The green flag flies. Fabulous start from Daruvala. Guan Yu Zhou tries to go with down into turn 1. Not the best start from Pierre-Louis Chauvet. Patrick Pasma, my pick, to absolutely carve through the 4 in front if he can keep it clean. Patrick with a decent set of tyres underneath him. For Evans GP in car 4 in position 5. As Jehan leads away. Super restart from the Indian.
Absolutely. He really got on the gas early, managed to pull a little bit of a gap to Zhu. Of course, Zhu didn't fall back too far, stayed close enough now to get a slipstream to Jehan down the straight, but just not enough to manage to try and make a move. Further back, like you said, Patrick Pasma, he's probably got better tires than Chauvet. Chauvet most likely is running on his used tires, either used in race 1 or race 2, one of the two. Probably race 2 because most of the race was behind the safety car, but still not as good as the cars in front of him. So let's see what Chauvet can do from that position. In the back there we see Iwasa challenging his teammate Roman Stanek. Iwasa, he wants as many points as he can get out of this weekend as well, but Stanek is no slouch either. We've seen a lot of high-tech boys coming together quite often, haven't we? They're really close. There we've seen Isani and Ushijima as well, so close to each other.
There are 4 high-tech cars here, of course, so they do make up, 1/5 of the field. As Jehan and Guan Yu pull away, Isaac in 3rd place. Patrick looks good in position 5. We go back to Roman Stanek, the Czech, who launched himself onto the international motorsport scene when he won the first round of the European Kart Racing Championships 2017. That was at Sardinov for the Cosmic Racing team. Now for Team High Tech in 6th place, ahead of Iwasa. His teammate Kush is just behind Jehan. The gap last time, half a second. We'll check it for you. Just 6/10. And it's Isaac, Pierre-Louis Chauvet, Patrick trying to get the French championship leader. 25 points on offer for the championship for this race here this afternoon, and 21 is the difference at the moment between Pierre-Louis Chauvet and the rest of the pack. Pierre-Louis back in 4th place at the moment, going through behind his countrymen, the French drivers, 3 and 4. Then it's the Finn, he's coming. We remind you, he is driving the car that Casper Stevenson drove earlier on in the week. Different colours for Patrick, but it's a quick machine. He tries to get the toe down the back straight behind Chauvet. Too far back to make a move this time. There is Iwasa behind Stanek. Gets very close to the back of the Czech. Then it's Kush Lorenzo Flutzer, a new turbo, incidentally, on the Spaniard's car. They replaced that overnight. It resulted in a 4th place finish this morning for Lorenzo Flutzer, and once again, he's up in the points. Head of Riso Shajima. Should say that with an English accent. He is American born, after all. Apologies for that. Reese Ushijima. Jahan, the gap, 0.6 of a second. Back to Guan Yu. The field settles down as we approach half race distance. Race 6 of what has been a spectacular week here at Yas Marina. Jahan Daruvala looks good here this afternoon. Abu Dhabi Racing by the Prema Power team in 2nd place. There is Iwasa going through in the Red Bull car. And Kush, he's being hammered by Lorenzo Flutzer that we just spoke about. Lorenzo wants to take the Indian for 8th place. Into the final corner, Jahan Daruvala. He's gone purple last time round. The gap was 0.6 of a second. We'll check it. Out to 8/10. He pulls away from Guan Yu Zhou in 2nd place. Patrick continues to hound the back of Pierre-Louis Chauvet.
Jehan and Zhu, they seem to be quite comfortable this time around. The two of them setting in some properly fast lap times, just opening a gap to Isaac Hadja, who's in 3rd place, and even more of a gap to Pierre-Louis Chauvet in 4th. So it looks like the two of them are now quite comfortable with their pace in their cars. But let's not forget, 2 Formula 2 drivers leading the pack. Zhu, he wants to win. Jahan, he wants to win. So who's it going to be? We don't know yet, but it just looks like Isaac Hadja is not able to keep up with these 2 experienced drivers in front of him. Even though he was so feisty in the previous round, he's just not been able to pull something off this time around, as we watch Kush Maini trying to hold off Lorenzo Flutzer. But Kush is doing a good job driving around this Yas Marina circuit. We were watching some videos of his early on. Of course, there's no secret that I'm spending time in the Mumbai Falcons garage, and he's been driving really, really well. Flutzer, just no answer at the moment to Kush. So let's see if he can do anything about it as the race progresses.
We do once again thank the Mumbai Falcons for bringing us our live coverage of these rounds of the Formula 3 Asian Championship. They've done a superb job to assist with our TV coverage and put 2 racing cars on track, including Jahan Daruvala. Daruvala, I should say. How do we say it correctly?
It's Jahan Daruvala.
JD, how's that?
JD, that's the easiest way of doing it. As we now watch JD going into the last corner, Jahan Daruvala doing a good job holding on to the lead from Guan Yu Zhou. He's just been inching away from him every lap. He's just a little quicker. This lap he's a bit slower, but Isaac Hadja, he's just put in the fastest lap of the race, 7/10 quicker than his previous lap, to slightly reel in Zhu and Jahan in front of him. So it looks like he seems to be getting into a little bit of a rhythm now. His 2nd and 3rd sector were purple the last time round. At 38.5 in the 2nd sector is very, very fast. That's almost qualifying pace.
All the cards are on the table now, the dying stages of the weekend. As Jahan continues to lead 0.7 of a second. Isaac Hadja, he's catching them. Goes so deep under brakes as he did yesterday. Here comes Isaac, trying to attack the 2 Formula 2 drivers in front. Pierre-Louis Chauvet still under pressure from Patrick. And as they came onto the straight last time round, we could see car 3 sliding. He's struggling for grip. Look at Pierre-Louis in the background in 4th place. Patrick tries to get the slipstream down the back straight. Will he just dive down the inside? Not this time. It's too far back. Pierre-Louis Chauvet goes through the chicane. He's struggling for traction, for drive off some of these corners. As Roberto Faria comes into pit lane, O Menino do Brasil, the boy from Brazil for Team Motorscape, unfortunately looks as though he has now ended his weekend.
That looks like the end of the race for Roberto Faria and Amna Alcobaisi, who also comes into the pit, as we saw in the background there. Coming back with the leaders right now, watching Kush Maini and Lorenzo Flutzer. Flutzer is really piling the pressure on Maini as we watch now Jahan Daruvala going into the last corner. Isaac Hadja just reeling them in, but Chauvet behind. He's got no answer to the pace of the 3 cars in front of him. He's being hounded by Patrick Pasma, who's got some proper pace in this final race.
Again, it is Chauvet trying to keep the car as straight as possible as Lorenzo Flutzer has a look down the inside of Kush, down into turn one, just over 230 kilometres an hour. Gets the toe from the Indian, does the Spaniard in fabulous form this afternoon. Is Lorenzo straight out of the Spanish Formula 4 Championship. His younger brother Lucas and Lito Lunita lining up to race on the grid at Adria, the WSK Champions Cup International Kart Racing event in 2 weeks' time. And their older brother Lorenzo doing a superb job inside the points. Gets the toe from Kush once again. Too far back. Just sits in behind, skates under brakes, locks the left front. Lorenzo absolutely on the limit in car 62.
Lorenzo trying absolutely everything he can to try and get past Kush. But these tires, they struggle when you follow the car in front too closely for too long. Especially when you get into the last sector, you end up skating around the track and he's trying to put
Has a big look down the inside. Kush closes the door. Does not run into the back of the second Mumbai Falcons entry. He looks quick here this afternoon, does Lorenzo. This is what we've come to expect from Lorenzo Flutzer in the last few seasons. International WSK kart racing, the Spanish F4 champion. He will be on the grid in the European Regional Championship by Alpine in 2021. As soon as the team release the official media press statement, we'll tell you exactly who it is. He looks good. He was fourth this morning, just missed the podium, and he's in fabulous form this afternoon, right behind Kush, who's under pressure. Kush from Bangalore in India, now living in London, racing in the British Formula 3 Championship. Lorenzo over the ripple strip on the inside. Will try and get the toe down into turn one as Patrick still hounds the back of Pierre-Louis Chauvet. Does not have the speed this afternoon, does the championship leader. He's one step off the podium in fourth place. Stanek goes through, Iwasa, and then it's Kush and Lorenzo. Jahan Daruvala continues to lead the final race of the weekend here at Yas Marina.
And while Jahan continues to extend his lead, right behind him, Isaac Hadja has taken another 3/10 of Guanyu Zhou on that last lap. So he is reeling Zhou in really, really quickly now.
So late under brakes is Isaac, and Patrick still trying to find a way past as look at Pierre-Louis Chauvet. He's struggling for grip, as is Iwasa. Wheel spin on the exit. These Alfa Romeo engines, turbocharged, putting out just under 300 horsepower. Quite a bit less, actually, to be accurate, around 275. We hope the FIA approve an increase to around the 300 mark for these Formula 3 regional cars to burn the tyres a little bit more and make the races just that little bit more exciting. Traditionally, race 3 has been the best of the weekend, but we've had the safety car interventions, and that has given a little bit more life in the tyres for this, the final event of a fantastic week here at Yas Marina.
I am not sure Pierre-Louis Chauvet will agree with you on that right now. He is struggling with his tires at the moment. We saw him in race 1, we saw him in race 2, just fly away from the rest of the field. But now he's got to use his tires from the previous races, and he seems to be struggling a little bit. Meanwhile, Kush Maini as well, properly being hounded by Lorenzo Flutzer. Every corner, Flutzer is trying to fill Maini's mirrors up with his black and red car. But Kush, he doesn't seem to be flustered at the moment.
Ayumu Iwasa in 7th place. Coming on to the straight. Here's Kush and Lorenzo. This is where he had a look at the Indian. We noticed in race 2 that Kush's car was just hooked up. Fantastic turn in from the front of car 28. His teammate still continues to lead. The gap is 9/10 between Jahan and Guanyu. The final race of the weekend here at Yas Marina, the Formula 3 Asian Championship for 2021. The 4th edition of the series. Rael Hyman, the South African, winning for Dragon High-Tech in 2018. Ukyo Sasahara winning just ahead of Jack Doohan in 2019 last year. It was Joey Alders again taking the title, just again from Jack. And here we've got Pierre-Louis Chauvet for Pinnacle Motorsport. He's the championship leader, but he's back in 4th as Jahan Daruvala has got the race lead. 9/10, almost a full second as Kush goes defensive from Lorenzo Flutzer. Wants the place. He's in the points. Will he have a look down the inside? Nothing to lose. Goes the outside, does Lorenzo. Kush closes the door, takes the racing line. He'll be slow on the exit. Lorenzo hounds the back of Kush Maini over the ripple strip. Will surely just have to put in one almighty send to take the place. Flutzer on the back of Maini. Under immense pressure, dives down the inside. Through the marina, that's not a place to pass, but he almost did. The exit of turn 16 controls the wheel spin under the W Hotel at the most extravagant racetrack on the planet. Iwasa pulls away. The Japanese driver just ahead of this battle. Kush manages to defend in the dying stages of the race. Here's an opportunity for Lorenzo. Closes in under brakes over the ripple strip. Almost takes out the bollard. He's hooked up this afternoon. He's the Spaniard. Gets the toe down into turn 1, does Lorenzo Flutzer. Kush Maini under immense pressure down into turn 1. Behind them, incidentally, Reese Ushijima and Alexandre Batignon having their own private battle for the final point in the final race of the weekend here at Yas Marina.
Kush Maini really having to work hard to hold on to that 8th place of his, but Flutzer, he wants it really, really bad. He does have the pace. He's just not able to make a move stick. He's been getting close, but not close enough. We saw the last time around going into turn 11. Kush covered the inside nicely. Flutzer tried to go around the outside, but it's not an easy place to go around the outside unless your name is Guanyu Zhu.
Well, Lorenzo might try it. He's got nothing to lose. 5 minutes 30 left on the clock. Race 3, round 3, we have passed the halfway point of the championship. Still Lorenzo tried to go by Kush. He immediately drives to the left. Will stay in the middle of the circuit, goes left. Lorenzo around the outside. Here's an opportunity. Flutzer locks up the brakes. Almost runs into the back of car 28. Over the ripple strip, just hammers the car. Down the inside goes Flutzer. That's not a place to pass either. Kush is worried. Here comes Lorenzo. A fabulous fight. This is not for the podium, not for the lead, but is entertaining us enormously here this afternoon. Out front, Jahan Taruvala with 1 second still over Guanyu Zhou. It's looking good for Jahan as Patrick goes through. Head of Stanek and Iwasa. Isaac in position 3 on the podium provisionally for Evans GP again this afternoon. We're back with the lead of the race. 4 minutes 30 remaining, not only this afternoon, but here at what has been a fantastic week at Yas Marina, the Formula 3 Championship for 2021.
Isaac now knows he's close enough to the back of Guanyu Zhu's car. He can sniff that second spot. He can feel it. But Zhu is not going to be easy to pass. We saw Isaac's been having trouble trying to get past cars on this circuit. And the last time when we thought he made it stick on Dino, they made contact. But let's see if he can make something stick on Zhu, because he is catching him and he's catching him quickly. But there we see he just locks up ever so slightly going into turn 8.
So deep under brakes goes Isaac. Straight from the French F4 series. Can he make a move on the Alpine F1 test driver?
Would be interesting to see if he bounces around the outside of turn 11.
Why not? He's making a name for himself. We didn't know too much about him. Well, most of the racing world did not. His former Forza Racing teammates, they certainly did. He raced international WSK karting for Jamie Croxford's Forza Racing team. Who were they? Well, they took Dexter Patterson to the 2017 World Championship, Johnny Edgar to the Euro Champs, and their former drivers also include the likes of Robert Schwartzman, and guess who? Also Kush Maini. Isaac, formerly of the Forza Racing team, now with Evans GP in 3rd place behind 2 Formula 2 drivers with 3 minutes left on the clock to race.
I don't think Isaac dreamt that he'd be fighting with some Formula 2 drivers so early in his career. This championship gives drivers, youngsters especially, a really good opportunity to put themselves up against the best in the world. But you see why we call them the best youngsters in the world, because they are leading this race at the moment. It's Jehan leading from Zhu. And everybody knows that these 2 young Asian drivers, they're pipped to be in Formula 1 sometime in the future, but the competition for them is hard as well. Formula 2 this year with some fantastic drivers. So Jehan and Zhu try to get in as much seat time as they can before they jump into their Formula 2 cars, but let's not forget the super license points as well.
Probably Isaac, the fact that he's 16 years old, only about 4 foot high, to think that he was going to be fighting with Formula 2 drivers here this weekend. He's just been superb. Jahan Daruvala, next Indian F1 driver on the grid, Aditya. Is that him?
The likelihood is pretty high.
Previously, of course, just the two, if I'm not mistaken, Karun and Narayan.
They are watching this race, by the way. I know Narayan has been watching eagerly as to what's going on. He's a big supporter of all the Indian drivers up and down the different categories in Indian motorsport, right from Formula 2 all the way down to karting. And I know Narayan is watching and listening right now. So it's great to see Jahan leading this race from Guanyu Zhou and Isaac Hadjar in third with, I think, just another lap to go after this. Needs to pull something out of the bag if he wants to make a move on Guanyu Zhou, even if he wants to try it. Oh, there we see he's getting closer and closer with every corner.
Not only Narayan, but the entire racing world has been watching what has been a fantastic championship, the Formula 3 Championship of Asia for 2021, taking place exclusively here in the amazing United Arab Emirates. We do thank our hosts as Jahan comes across the line to get the last lap forward here in the UAE, the Yas Marina Circuit, and also the Dubai Autodrome, the full circuit we race next week, the same layout that hosted the recent Dubai 24-hour race. Great to have your company on the final lap of a fantastic week here at Yas Marina. Jahan Daruvala gets his championship back on track. The next Indian in Formula 1, well, if he can win this title, it's 18 Formula 1 super license in his pocket. And the Mumbai Falcons, superbly presented cars as well. Guanyu Zhou in second place, still being attacked by young Isaac Pierre-Louis Chauvet. We believe will just still hold the championship lead going into Dubai next week. We're about to click over 30 minutes. Isaac goes down the inside just to try and rattle the 21-year-old Chinese driver.
I did catch a glimpse of Patrick Pasma there in the back, trying to reel Pierre-Louis Chauvet in and try and put in a move on the last lap, but it looks like he didn't make it stick. But they are very close as they get onto the back straight towards turn 11 as well. As we look at Jahan Daruvala now extend his lead ever so slightly over Guanyu Zhou, who's being hustled a little bit by Isaac Hadjar. But from now on, it's not going to be easy to pass until the end. This last sector of the circuit, it's impossible to pass. If someone can make a move here, I bow down to them.
Well, we're about to find out if that can happen, because this is the final lap of the race. A magnificent week here at Yas Marina as Isaac again locks up the front right. The final few corners under the W Hotel. Pierre-Louis Chauvet still holds off the Finn. The frustrated Finn he must be in Patrick Pasma. There's Iwasa sideways on the exit out of turn 16. Jahan Daruvala from pole position. His championship is back on track. He rounds the final corner, the checkered flag, and JD from Mumbai takes the victory from Guanyu Zhou. And Isaac Hadjar on the podium, just brilliant. In third place once again, Chauvet, still the championship leader, comes home in fourth place. Ahead of Patrick Pasma, Roman Stanek, Ayumu Iwasa. Kushmaini comes across the line now. Still just ahead of Lorenzo Flutza. He's in ninth. Here's the Spaniard, and we wait for Reese Ushijima for Team High-Tech to pick up the final point in 10th place. Jahan Daruvala takes the victory. Race 6 here at Yas Marina for the Mumbai Falcons.
Jahan drove well there. All he needed to do was just get off the line properly, and once he did that, there was no looking back. Of course, the safety car probably gave him a few hiccups, but Guanyu Zhou just didn't have an answer to Jahan's pace. Again, Isaac Hadjar trying everything he can to take that second spot off Guanyu Zhou, but he just wasn't close enough, and he had to settle for third. Pierre-Louis Chauvet in fourth place loses a little bit of his lead in the championship to Jahan Daruvala, but nonetheless, there's still another 6 races to go. It's anybody's game. We see now how tires make such a difference, because in the last race, Pierre-Louis Chauvet on his new tires was able to just fly away from the field, but now with used tires, he struggled a little bit to hold Patrick Pasma off, but in the end, he managed to do it.
So is it time to do mathematics again? 25 plus 121 equals 146. That's for Jahan. We add 18 points to the total of Guan Yu Zhou. Well, that's 141. And Pierre-Louis Chauvet in fourth place, 12 points, so 158. So it is still Pierre-Louis Chauvet. Hey, my mathematics is not bad. I did fail high school miserably. But when it comes to motor racing, when we need to know, Aditya, we can do it.
I'd say the same. I did struggle in high school miserably, but you're quicker than me, though. It took me a little while to work that out in my mind.
We know the F1 point scoring system like everyone in motorsport.
Indeed we do, but super happy for this young man, Jehan Daruvala, who after the last race actually wasn't too sure how this one was going to pan out, because he said he did struggle a little bit, and he's not too sure what his pace would be like, but he was the class of the field this time, setting fastest lap after fastest lap from the get-go. Isaac Hadjar, of course, when he had that gap, was able to reel them in with some quick laps, but just no answer to Guan Yu Zhou.
He'll be relieved as well. He was visibly disappointed yesterday. Finished on the podium but didn't take the victory. But he'll be relieved, satisfied is probably the correct adjective to describe Jehan Daruvala taking the victory. Yesterday, the sand blowing in from the Arabian desert from nearby Saudi and Oman, that spiced up the race, not the case today. Do you remember the first editions of the Bahrain Formula One Grand Prix? They actually painted the sands in the desert to keep the track somewhat clean. No, let the wind blow. It was fantastic yesterday. A clean track this afternoon. And Jehan takes another victory. The Auto Technica guys immediately down in Parc Ferme to check the performance of the Alfa Romeo engine. Jehan Daruvala takes the victory. His championship is back on track for the Mumbai Falcons.
There's been a saying in our pit, in fact, in the Mumbai Falcons pit, every time Jehan wins a race, everybody says, winner, winner, biryani dinner.
What dinner?
Biryani. Have you never eaten biryani?
You'll have to tell me what that... I shouldn't finish the sentence. It's showing my cultural ignorance.
Yeah, maybe let's not discuss that here in
Winner,
Dubai.
winner
in Abu
chicken
Dhabi.
dinner, I believe, in the Western world.
Winner, winner, biryani dinner is way better than that. As we look at a rather fresh looking Isaac Hadjar.
Good to see him smiling too. He deserved that.
Yeah, good to see him. He looks like he's telling someone that, no, I don't know why I wasn't fast enough.
We know Jehan Daruvala, we know Guan Yu Zhou. Remember the name Isaac Hadjar, 16 years of age, born in Paris, of Algerian descent. From the French F4 Championship, another podium in this world-class field in the Formula 3 Asian Championship for 2021. The first major open-wheel championship in the Northern Hemisphere for the new year. There is Jehan. He does look satisfied with this victory this afternoon. He is a Red Bull Junior as well. So up at hangar 11, hangar 7, the hangar in Austria, hangar up in Salzburg. They'll be celebrating this. You know the famous hangar.
Yeah, I know there is one.
It's hangar.
I don't know if it's got a number, but clearly it does.
The Red Bull hangar.
The Red Bull hangar. Let's just call it the Red Bull hangar.
I've gone blank.
Yeah, me too.
Congratulations to the Red Bull Junior, the Indian flag, lining up alongside Dan Ticktum in the FIA Formula 2 Championship. The race winner, Jehan Daruvala, is down in pit lane. Let's hear from him right now.
And a very well-timed race start, actually. It got the rest of the race flowing. Just talk us through the early stages.
Yes, it was a good start. It was close on lap 1. I think it was a fair fight and close, but yeah, after that I pretty much controlled the pace, and I'm really happy to win.
There's only 2 weekends left of the championship, of course, but it looks like you're right in the hunt. Where are you going to find a little bit more of an edge at Dubai?
I think the quali pace was quite good. I still think we need to find a bit in the racing, but yeah, as long as I qualify in the front, then you can win races, so that's all that matters.
Fly that flag with pride on the podium, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Let's have a word with Guan Yu. Mr. Zhou, plenty of podiums coming in for you and lots of points in the bank. That's going to give you a brilliant platform to move away for Dubai. Couldn't quite get on terms with Jehan and was able to hold off Isaac. Just talk us through how the race unfolded.
Yeah, to be honest, the only opportunity I had was in the start, lap 1, and tried to go around through turn 11. Obviously, I didn't make the move stick, and after that it was really difficult to get close again, especially, when in the lead after the safety car race starts. The guys, last few corners, you have so much more downforce and following, so it was tricky, but in terms of the championship, we're going well so far. I mean, we missed some points in the first few rounds in terms of consistency, and this time with no unlucky moments, so all good.
Well, last week in Dubai, of course, you won the opening 2 races, so is that the form you're going to recapture next week to get this championship back on track?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to Dubai, to be honest. I think we are really strong there. In terms of Yas Marina Circuit, we missed a little bit compared to a few other teams, so we have to still keep working on it, and I'm sure the team will figure it out for the last 2 rounds and come back stronger.
A good, solid, consistent job this weekend, Guan Yu. Well done.
Thank you.
And for the last time this season, let's have a word with Isaac Hajar. Isaac, you've captured the imagination of the fans back home watching in France, and I have to say, surprised a lot of people. Just talk us through your final thrilling battle here at Yas Marina.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this race. It might be not very representative, but I think it's my best race of the weekend. I had the best pace. I set the fastest lap by 2/10, and yeah, I did my best start of the weekend by overtaking Chauvet. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. We made a lot of progress with the car, and I would like to thank my engineer and my 2 mechanics for an incredible job.
I think there's going to be a lot of frustrated viewers back home who will want to see you in Dubai and to keep the season going, because I think a lot of people can sense you were so close to getting that first win.
Yeah, it's a shame I didn't get that win, but I can tell you that I learned a lot with this kind of drivers, and I'll be 100% ready for the Formula Alpine Championship.
And of course now you're on everybody's radar worldwide. Congratulations, a great season.
Merci beaucoup.
Isaac Hajar to race in the Regional Alpine Championship for R-Race GP alongside the Zane train, Zane Maloney. And he finishes on the podium in 3rd place. Incidentally, of course, it's Hangar 7 at the Salzburg Airport. If it's anything like, well, go to the Red Bull Ring. It's just probably the most beautiful track in Europe. Also with a collection of F1 cars and Red Bull equipment, let's just say, at the most beautiful track in Austria. As you look at the results, Jahan Daruvala takes the victory from Guan Yu Zhou. Isaac Hajar, Pierre-Louis Chauvet in 4th. From Patrick, Roman, Ayumu Iwasa, Kush Maini, Lorenzo Flux are in the points again, and Reese in position 10 as Aditya Patel rejoins me for the final time. Hangar 7 at the Salzburg Airport.
Winner, winner, biryani dinner.
Take your word for
So
that.
we remember that. But fantastic racing this time around. 6 races. I can't believe we just got done with 6 races over 4 days. It's been a hectic 4 days, but now I'm looking forward to a couple of days off before we head back to Dubai for a track walk on Tuesday, and then the cars are back on track on Wednesday. So these drivers as well don't have too much of a break before they get back in the car.
Yes, back racing at the Dubai Autodrome in conjunction with the Asian Le Mans Series next weekend, and then back here on the full Grand Prix layout, the Yas Marina Grand Prix circuit for the final round of the Formula 3 Asian Championship for 2021. The podium, Jahan takes position 1. Guan Yu in 2nd place. Isaac Hajar from France on the podium in position 3.
I can feel some patriotism coming out here when I see that Indian flag up there on the podium with Jahan Daruvala. What a drive once again by Jahan.
What an effort from the Mumbai Falcons team as well. Again, we thank them for the final time for bringing us our live TV coverage. The first 3 rounds of the Formula 3 Asian Championship. On behalf of myself, Ian Silvestri, I have been delighted to be joined by former racer Aditya Patel. Aditya, we have passed the halfway mark. It's been absolutely a pleasure to have you up here in the commentary box. I certainly hope and believe it won't be the last time.
Likewise, Ian. I'm actually enjoying it. Like I said before, I've never done this before, and now I'm looking forward to Dubai. I wonder if we'll be in the commentary box again. We'll know soon. but off to Dubai we go.
Thank you, Aditya Patel, on behalf of him and myself, Ian Sylvester. And thank you for joining us. The Formula 3 Asian Championship from the Yas Marina Formula 1 Grand Prix circuit. We'll see you in a few days' time at the Dubai Autodrome.